The focus for today is the Daybook assignments. Throughout the ninth grade year, we will be doing a number of assignments where I will photocopy some pages and give them to students under the guise that they are the Daybook assignments. Now, typically what goes on with the Daybook assignments are students are asked to create response notes and interact with the text, to mark it up and ask questions, make comments, find vocab words that they don't know, and basically have a conversation with the text. Additionally, there are activities that are associated with the Daybook, and typically I'll let students get into a little more detail on these activities than the directions will allow. So it's typically very important for the students to make note of the directions that I give in class. However, with that being said, oftentimes if a student were to go home and print it out, they could simply follow the directions that the assignment has given and still receive full credit for it. So as you can see from this first example, this is what I'm talking about in terms of interacting with the text. As you can see, this student has highlighted important phrases, important words, important lines that are going to enable this student to get a better understanding of what's going on with the text. Additionally, what you'll notice is that this student also made a very specific mark for the word impromptu. The student wasn't exactly aware of what the word impromptu meant, so the student not only highlighted it, but circled it and drew a line over to the dictionary definition of the word as well. I encourage this in every text that we read over the course of the year. I want students to interact with the text and find out the words that they don't know, either by the context clues, the words around them, or by going to the dictionary and finding out what those words are as well. Additionally, you'll notice what this student did is they not only highlighted the most important passages, but they also gave particular emphasis to passages that a passage that was even more important to understanding the entire story. They not only highlighted but underlined those very important lines. He then opened up the dead deer. This was as a result of the story itself. This was the central point of the story, and the student very astutely understood that and underlined that very important word. Now, what you'll notice on this next Daybook assignment is that this student has done a very similar job in terms of finding the important facts on the article, but this student chose to, instead of focus on underlining and highlighting within the text, come up with very specific information on the sides and underneath the text. Additionally, this student also got very in-depth in terms of the central meanings of the assignment or of the story itself. As you can see, the focus down here is on not necessarily comparing her response notes with a partner's, but instead creating a better understanding for the assignment herself. Now, sticking with this same assignment, you'll see that on the last page of the assignment, the student followed the directions exactly as they were listed right up here. Now, that's perfectly fine. What I had done with this assignment was I had asked students to go out on a limb and go a little more into detail. I gave them very specific instructions for these three bubbles. But I also told them that if they were uncomfortable with what I was asking them to go or to write down, they could simply follow the exact directions that were given by the assignment and finish the assignment in that fashion. And that's exactly what this student did, right down to the letter at the bottom. This student did exactly what the directions asked. She wrote about a very specific incident and connected it to what was going on within the text itself. Great job on her response notes and her assignment. Now, what this student has done is they've taken the response notes to an entirely different level. As you can see, on these response notes, this student not only underlined important thoughts within the piece, but they also not only created sentences, they also asked questions and drew pictures. Whenever I am asking students to do response notes on a text, I encourage them to do whatever it takes to gain a better understanding of that text and to retain that information. If it entails drawing pictures, as this student has done there, I find that to be a great way to remember information. This student did an exceptional job at creating very detailed response notes, and as a result of it, the student was able to do a very substantial job in terms of answering the questions on the back of this particular Daybook assignment. So once again, these are all examples of the Daybook assignment. These are all examples of students that have done particularly well, both in answering the questions and in outlining and highlighting the information that is presented in there. Again, if you need to access Daybook assignments, you can go to www.mrhurst.com and click on the 9th grade class, and all 66 Daybook assignments that we will be doing over the course of the year are located on the website. You simply click on it, download it, print it out, and you are good to go. If you have any questions, email me at mrhurst@hotmail.com.